Hi, I'm Tiffany from London, and I've got an outrageous story for you. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. I was raised by my grandmother when I was 3, and she was a famous actress who starred in a dozen action movies. On a typical day, she'd jump off a building, fight a bunch of ninjas on top of a speeding train, and one time, she fought 10 bad guys in midair with her bare hands and a rubber ducky. You want a piece of me, punk? Grandma was the coolest person in the world, and I wanted to be just like her. She loved teaching me martial arts moves, and on my 14th birthday, she let me go to one of her movie sets. I watched as Grandma rode a motorcycle through a window and into a pillow factory, but something went horribly wrong. There was water on the floor, and Grandma's motorcycle spun out of control. Then she fell and hit her head. My heart raced. I ran onto the set and pushed past the crew to get to her. Wake up, Grandma, please! Moments later, Grandma opened her eyes, but what happened next rocked my world. Grandma didn't remember who she was. She was convinced she was a double agent from one of her action movies. She was so paranoid, she punched the doctor in the face when he tried to examine her and chased me around the room with a broom. It's me, Tiffany, your granddaughter, remember? You won't take me alive. Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, a social worker came to visit. She said that Grandma wasn't fit to raise me anymore, so I'd have to go live in an orphanage. I cried and begged the social worker to let me stay with Grandma, but she refused to listen. When I got to the orphanage, all the other kids were half my age. I always wanted a younger sibling, so it wasn't that bad at first. Tiffany, help little Michael with his homework. Tiffany, come play dolls with me? Then it got really old. Tiffany, change baby Jake's diapers and wipe Sammy's nose. The twins made a mess. Go clean it up. Every night I dreamed of getting adopted, but none of the parents were interested in me. So I gave up my hopes of ever having a real family. But one day, the craziest thing happened. The nuns took me and the rest of the orphans to the park. As usual, I was responsible for watching the kids as the nuns hung out sipping lattes. Then I saw a strange man lurking around the playground, and my spidey sense went haywire. The man grabbed little Sammy and darted down the street. I chased the strange man, yelled at him to stop, and threw a handful of sand in his face when the nuns tackled him and held him down until the police arrived. The police said that the strange man was wanted around the country for a dozen crimes. After that, my picture was in the paper, and everyone started calling me a hero. The next thing I knew, this rich couple named Mr. and Mrs. Wilson came to visit, and they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse.
We'd like to adopt you, but on one condition.
What is it? They showed me a picture of their daughter, a girl my age named Pearl.
Our daughter Pearl needs a sister to keep her company and to be a good influence.
They told me how Pearl was always getting into trouble and how she hung out with the wrong kids. In exchange for my services, the Wilsons promised they'd pay for my education. I'd get my own room in their mansion, and I'd get a weekly allowance. Cha-ching!
So, are you interested?
It was a total no-brainer. Duh, of course I'm in. When do I start? We shook on the deal, then I was off with the Wilsons on a private jet. When we arrived at their mansion, Pearl greeted us at the front door.
Pearl, this is your new sister, Tiffany.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. Don't touch me, you witch. Pearl shoved me and slammed the door in our faces.
Don't worry, she just needs some time to get used to the idea.
Everything will be fine, we promise. But instead, things got worse. Pearl gave me dirty looks every time she saw me. She put spiders in my bed, sprayed me in the face with a water hose, and left weird photos of me with my face crossed out all around the house. She even locked herself in her room and refused to eat. It's me or the charity case. Pearl's hunger strike didn't last long. Less than 10 minutes later, we caught a delivery guy falling out of a tree after attempting to deliver a pizza through Pearl's bedroom window. At school, Pearl acted like I was invisible. She hung out with these mean girls that smiled in her face and talked about her behind her back. I overheard them making fun of Pearl in the bathroom. Pearl is so stupid and annoying. I can hardly stand her. But look at these new shoes she bought me. That night, I tried to warn Pearl about the girls. You don't know anything about my life. You're just a stupid, poor, motherless girl. I know what it's like to be used. Those girls aren't your friends. Friends don't hang out with you just because you have money. But Pearl didn't listen. She started taking her friends on shopping sprees every day to make herself feel better. She maxed out her credit cards. Then Mr. Wilson found out and took all Pearl's credit cards away. But when Pearl told her friends she couldn't take them shopping anymore, they kicked her out of their group. They ignored her at school and stopped answering her texts. They even had a big party and didn't invite Pearl. I caught Pearl sitting in her room, crying in the dark. My life is over. Just finish me off. I'm doomed. Pearl threw herself on the floor and clutched her wallet like she was dying. Don't be so dramatic. You don't need money to have fun. Liar! How dare you speak such nonsense? I bet you'll have twice as much fun with me than you ever had with your snobby old rich friends. I'll take that bet, and if I win, you have to do my homework for a month. It's a deal. Pearl and I went skating at the park, played volleyball on the beach,